Good morning everyone, it's Carol here at Oak House Journals and I'm doing prompt number 28, which is Grungy in the Junk Journal January series. So as you can see, I'm working on the opposite page from my cat page, which was prompt 21 for peeking out. So as you can see, I've got a couple of massive holes in that page, just going around with vintage photo distress ink to add some more colour to the page. Here I've got a book page of some lovely handwritten script, and I use that for my cat tag on the opposite page. And here I'm just measuring out a piece that will be big enough to cover the big hole at the top of the page. So just checking my measurements. Yep, that's fine. So I'm going to rip away that portion. Then I go in and I draw a rectangle inside that piece of paper and then use my X-Acto knife to cut it out. So ostensibly I'm creating a frame. So there's my rectangle going in with my X-Acto knife. That's one side and the second, and top and bottom. So this is the frame I've created. Bit big, but big enough, and I then go in with another scrap of paper to create a smaller frame to go around the smaller hole or tear that I've created in the page. So doing exactly the same thing, creating a frame, rubbing out my pencil marks. And I do ink round the edges of both of these frames with vintage photo distress ink, round the outside and inside the rectangle. Now that big frame is looking a bit too big for me, so I've got another scrap and I go in and I create a third frame. So there we go, I've got my third frame already cut out, liking the size of this one, this new one, much better. And I'm just trying to see if I can work with that first frame I made, the big one, but it is too big for what I want. So you'll see me in a moment go in and reduce the size of it. So I'm liking the very small frame to outline that hole, and I'm liking this one, so I'm gluing both of those in place. There they are. Here I'm just marking where I need to reduce the size of that first frame, the big one. So I'm just going to do a bit of paper piecing, and there we go, just putting a piece up there, and that's glued in place. Now as you can see, I've got a couple of little scraps on my desk. I'm just inking around those and popping them on my page for a bit of interest. So one top left hand corner and one in this transition area here. There we go. I've lifted out some bits and bobs to decorate my page with. This is a little vellum book, and there we go, I've lifted out one of those to use. I've got a couple of little tiny handmade envelopes that I've made. This one I'm going to go with is made with Ranger paper, and here I'm playing with some silk hydrangea flowers, sorry. And I've chosen those, one because it's got hints of green in, that one that I'm ripping away there. It's got hints of green that will match the opposite page, and the other one because it's got hints of very pinky mauve, which will pick up the colours that I've used to paint the inside of my cat's ears with. This is just a sticker, and I like how it looks because it's brown paper and I think will go well on here. And just ripping away the edges of that little vellum piece that I'm going to use, and then I go in with some vintage photo distress ink just to ink the edges of that brown sticker. So I'm just having a play, seeing what looks nice, decide I like that look, and after inking the edges I go in and glue those two pieces in place. Just in the centre, so I still have some movement under that vellum. So going back to play with those silk hydrangea flowers, they were just from a silk flower that I bought and just pulled it apart so that I have a wee stash of those. Liking how those hydrangeas are looking behind my little envelope. So I've glued those in place. I do go in again at a later stage and just scrunch them more underneath. And here I'm just playing with the same colours on that opposite page, just to tie the two pages in. I've got some Asian stickers, and I go in with a couple under my vellum. I've already got some Asian stickers bottom left and top right down the edges there. Putting some more little stickers on my envelope, and I put a little closure on that envelope so that I can open it up and maybe pop something inside if I want to. And then I just go all the way around my piece with some Ranger rub-ons from various of the collections, really just trying to use them up actually, so that I've got less of the odds and ends in my stash. So as you can see, I've gone with a number up in that top left hand corner and a B, some larger numbers across the bottom here, a faux stamp up in that corner. I think that's a number at the side there. And then a few tiny little numbers on that brown label, and then finally one just over those large numbers. So I decided to go in with those Asian stickers and use them on my cat tag on the opposite page to try and tie in with something else on that page. And as you can see, there's one on the cat's bottom there, or cat's thigh. And then I do decide to go in with these hydrangea flowers at the bottom of the tag, and same colours. And then finally I'm just going in with some glossy accents on this little flower that I made, which is 3 flowers punched out of various papers and held together with a press stud, or popper as I believe they're called in America. And I'm just trying to make sure that the paper on the bottom layer is glued well, and then I'm just scrunching it up a little bit. And there we go, that's my finished page on the left hand side for Grungy. So I hope you enjoyed seeing that come together, everybody, and thank you so much for watching. It's not the grungiest of pages by any means, but I think it's grungy enough for me. So I'll leave you with a few close-up photographs so that you can have a clearer look, or a better look at the detail on the page. And I hope you'll be back to join me for tomorrow's prompt, which is geometric. So until then, everybody, have a lovely day. Hope you can get some crafting in, and until tomorrow, take care. Bye bye now.